Welcome to another episode of the Sports Talk Eli Podcast. Great to have you guys with me for another episode of the Sports Talk Eli Podcast. Watching on YouTube, or you're streaming this on the many platforms that I plan on throwing this on. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the positive reception I've gotten to the podcast. We're gonna keep growing and keep making it better and making sports talk more accurate and holding people accountable for their actions in the sports world. We have a fun show for you guys today. We are talking about the NBA Finals, which is a very interesting matchup. It's a matchup between two teams that typically wouldn't make the finals in most years. You know, it's not the LeBron versus the Warriors. It doesn't have that glamour of that. But, you know, if you're a hardcore NBA fan, you're definitely going to watch. I'm not sure how this matchup's going to do amongst the casuals. I know you have some big names in it like Giannis and Chris Paul. But, like I said, Giannis and Chris Paul don't hold the flame to LeBron James and Steph Curry. But, like I said, I still think it's going to be a very fun series. And it should be a good test for the NBA to see if these smaller markets can draw. I mean, I feel like the league in general has to do a better job at like hyping and advertising smaller markets. Like, I feel like the league should do a better job overall presenting like younger rebuilding teams in smaller markets in general that are really good. But that's a topic for another day. That's definitely a topic for another day. So this year's finals will be between the Phoenix Suns of the Western Conference, Suns who went through the Lakers, the Nuggets, and MVP Jokic, and the Clippers, though without Kawhi, and though without Jamal Murray, though without your boy Anthony Davis hobbled, but they still went through some of the best teams in the Western Conference to get to the stage, and that's very impressive. Injuries, by the way, guys, you got to remember, injuries are going to happen. It's sports. It's just what it is. It is what it is. You just got to accept it. We shouldn't put an asterisk next to some teams' names just because somebody got injured. It's ridiculous. Every year. It happens every year. It is what it is. It is what it is. And over in the Eastern Conference, you have the Bucks, who swept Miami after they beat them in a bubble last year. You take the Nets to 7 games. 7 games with Kevin Durant just on fire. Then you and the Atlanta Hawks Cinderella run. Now, like I said, what makes this finals matchup so compelling is the fact that they're two teams that, you know, aren't these big, like, they're not the Lakers and Celtics, is what I'm trying to say. You have one team that hasn't won a championship since the 70s, the Big O and Lou Alcindor days. And you have a team that never won a championship at all. Their last finals appearance was 1993, when you had Charles Barkley. And, you know, shout out to Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire. Some teams, those times were very fun to watch. It revolutionized basketball, in my opinion, or one of the reasons why everybody plays this style of play. Well, them and the Warriors. The Warriors just perfected it, in my opinion. But, yeah. Now, other compelling stories in this NBA Finals matchup. You have Chris Paul, who could potentially get his first NBA championship, which I'm all for it. Like, Chris Paul definitely is one of the greatest point guards to ever do it. I think him winning a championship will probably put him higher on that all-time great point guard list. Will definitely make him a lock for a top 5, in my opinion. Then you have, on the other side, Giannis, who seems to be, if he wins the championship, we're going to probably have to say to ourselves, is Giannis the second best player underneath LeBron James? I know some people say it's Steph, some people say it's KD, but some people say it's Kawhi. But now, is it Giannis now that he has an NBA championship? I don't know. These are the questions that I feel like some people are going to definitely ask. The series is definitely going to go down to health. I know Giannis is doubtful for Game 1, but if he can come back for Game 2 and still be able to play at a high level, it's definitely going to determine this series. Right now, I honestly feel that the Suns are playing such good basketball. They're playing really good basketball. Devin Booker's really balling out. And DeAndre Ayton, who's an X factor in my opinion when it comes to this series. His work in the paint, of course, is definitely going to determine like how good Phoenix does in the series. But overall, I just have the Suns beating the Bucks in 7. That's right. Bucks in 7. I mean, Suns in 7. I'm sorry. I'm recording at 2 o'clock in the morning, so excuse me. But yes, I have the Suns beating the Milwaukee Bucks in 7 games. Could be wrong, though. Could be a clean sweep. Who knows? Who knows? I'm just excited that it's the NBA Finals. We had a really, really good NBA playoffs this year. I think there was so much interesting storylines, dramatic games where like you got these comebacks, you got the Philly meltdown, you had whatever the mess Joker did when in Game 4, you had of course you had LeBron getting out in the first round. I guess it was what made it different because we all was expecting this year to be the Lakers and Nets, and I guess we ain't get Lakers and Nets, but like I said, still should be a really, really great NBA Finals. So next up, I want to talk about my boy Ben Simmons. Okay, so the next topic that I would like to talk to you guys today would be about Ben Simmons. Now, I know this story is weeks old, but I still feel the need to talk about it because it's very important. Mental health is very important. And somewhere along the line in the NBA playoffs, Ben Simmons mentally just lost it. He lost confidence in himself. He lost confidence in his game. And it's a shame. He's an NBA superstar. His style of play, his defense, ball handling, passing, his IQ and his vision is just top notch. And it's a shame that, his scoring and his shooting ability never caught up. And it doesn't seem like he hasn't worked on it. It seems like he definitely has worked on it, but it's just never improved. I think Simmons needs to find a new team to play for that would do him justice. Getting him out of Philly might be the best thing for Simmons mentally and for Philly in general. Receiving the text. So, I personally believe that Simmons should get requested for trade. He should get traded. And one trade rumor that I've seen is Ben Simmons to Sacramento for DeAaron Fox. Now, DeAaron Fox isn't the all-star. He isn't the defensive player that Simmons is, but offensively can get you 20 to 25 points per game a night. You won't lose much with the passing, and you're getting one of the best young upcoming point guards in the league. I think a lot of people who don't know, a lot of casual NBA fans, will be introduced to De'Aaron Fox, and then you will watch him play and be like, damn, this boy nice. And I've always said that when De'Aaron Fox played. So much so that Sacramento has played better recently. In recent years, have been more competitive. They've been at the bottom of the league. They're still one of the worst teams in the league, worst franchises in the league. We're not going to talk about the Marvin Bagley Luka thing. But whenever they've had De'Aaron Fox, since his second year in the league, they've played more competitive basketball. And I think going to a team like Sacramento would be good for Simmons, simply because he's playing for a smaller market. The team is not that good, and it won't be too high expectations for him to succeed. They definitely trading for a super all-star caliber player, a player that many people felt when he first came out can potentially be the next LeBron. And it can still happen, I wouldn't rule it out. If he does potentially get out of Philly and he just balls out, who says he won't become the next LeBron? And it's not looking likely right now, but you never know. You never know. These things is weird. But a change of scenery would be good for both players. It would be great for De'Aaron Fox to play on a bigger platform in a bigger market. Playing for a winning team in general. I know he probably really, really wants to win, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen with him in Sacramento. That the whole franchise is just a mess. And for Simmons, I don't trust their front office, but playing for a smaller market, less pressure would definitely be better for Ben Simmons. All right, so when we get back to the Sports Talk Eli Podcast, we are going to discuss some NFL teams that I'm excited about, along with Jalen Green, who is my favorite player entering the NBA draft. Keep it locked. You're watching the Sports Talk Eli Podcast.